What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Going Beyond the Castle. I am super excited to be back in Louisiana tonight and live from my house. So super glad to be back. I am your host, Fred Briley, and with me, as always, is my fabulous co-host, Lori Talamo. And tonight we are wrapping up 2024. Hard to believe that we are, there's 2 days left in 2024.
I know this year has just flown by. It's crazy to think that we're about to go into a new year.
Yeah. So it's exciting times as we head into 2025, but we have got a lot to talk about tonight as we cover our year in review episode. We've got a lot of exciting things lined up. We're going to talk about all the things that happened in 2024 at Disney Universal. Um, we're going to talk about what's coming ahead in 2025. And then we're going to talk about some things that we really don't know when they're coming to the parks, but we're super excited about that were announced this year. So, with that being said, let me pull up my notes.
While you're
And
doing that, I just want to say I went on live so I can watch the intro video. That was awesome. Great job on that.
thanks. It
Love
didn't
it.
take much work. Yeah, I felt like we needed something that kind of cued us in, learned from a past of a couple of our live streams. It's kind of an abrupt start, so I figured I'd give us something nice and easy to head into the episode with. That way it's not just like, hey, we're live.
Right. Yeah, no, great touch. It's
Thanks.
good.
So yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff to unpack. So if you guys are tuning in, definitely drop us some comments about, if you paid attention to all the stuff that happened in the parks this past year. Um, excuse me, what you're looking forward to in 2025. So I think with that being said, Lori, do you have anything before we got a lot. So do you have anything before we just dive right in?
Yeah, I feel like this has been a huge year of changes and announcements. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff. And I'm gonna wait because I know we edited the notes a little bit, so I'm not sure if it's in there. But I don't see it. Like I even feel like some of the things that we didn't even mark was all of the no more park hopping. No more park reservations. Park
Yeah.
hopping opening after, not having to wait until two. All of those things too that we really haven't hit on. So definitely a lot of stuff to kind of recap.
Yeah, it was hard because you and I were talking the other night about what are we going to talk about? Like, what is the flow of this going to look like? Because there's just 2024 was such a full year of things that changed.
Yeah.
So kind of had to narrow it down to what the big ones, right?
Right. And it's always, well, although Universal does have a lot of stuff too, but a
Yeah,
lot of Disney stuff. Disney always kind of seems to dominate the conversation. So
yeah,
definitely have to cut some of that stuff out.
yeah. So, and if we miss anything that you guys, were big fans of this past year, let's hit those in the comments. We'll give them a shout out for sure. Because I'm sure we missed something in trying to compile everything that happened in 2025.
Yeah. And it's funny because I always go back and listen. I listen to um so we work out 4 days now, but I listen to podcasts while I'm working out. So I have our friends from the Disney Crush. I listen to theirs, I listen to ours, and I listen to the Disney Nerds. But it's always funny to me when I go back and listen to stuff and oh, that was wrong. Like saying that this episode was going to go live after you were saying on January 1st, and it will.
Hey,
But it's yeah, it's fun. So definitely leave some comments because I love to go back and look at those and find those fun things that I've said.
yeah. So I think we'll just dive straight in because we got a lot to cover,
Yep,
and
let's
I
roll.
would love to respect the whole hour podcast rule, um, unspoken rule, but we'll try our
Yep.
best to stick to it. So up first, I think is one of our favorites, Walt Disney World. Like so much happened at Walt Disney World this year. Um, you know, I think the biggest one possibly was the new ride of Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yeah.
Like, and I never rode Splash Mountain. I had lots of opportunities to ride Splash Mountain, but I'm not a wet ride kind of guy. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to go get it unless it's like July, which we never go in July. We always go in like September, October, March, April time frames. I don't want to go get wet and then walk around in wet clothes. And I'm not trying to put on
Yeah.
like some of these people go extreme and put on like 3 or 4 ponchos, and I'm not about that life. So I never
Yeah.
rode it. But
I
I
rode
did
it
get to
once.
ride it. See, and I heard it was a good ride.
It
for what
was.
worth.
So my whole thing, and this goes back to the fear heights. So I did it. It was a cheer trip that we did with Olivia's cheer team. This was when she was in middle school. And so we did Universal a couple of years before. No, we did Disney first. And so one of the moms was like, no, we're going to do all the rides with them. And so their family had done Splash Mountain multiple times. So they were like, oh, sit here. Well, then I realized once the ride had started that they set us up to get wet. So we were in the section that we got pretty wet, but I did have a poncho on. But the whole drop is what I don't mind the drop. It's the anticipation of the drop.
Yeah.
That gets me. And not knowing where it was going to be at. But I did ride it and it was cute. But I'm not attached to it like a lot of folks because I didn't ride it multiple times.
Yeah. I will say I've ridden it twice now. I rode it once in September, and I rode it once in when we went for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And it's such a great ride. Like, I really feel like Disney did a really great job with the whole storyline of Tiana. Like, it's also great to have Tiana in the parks now and really have her presence more.
Yeah.
And they really did a great job with, like, especially once you kind of go down the final big splash and you kind of go in and underground, like, just the setup is really good. Living in New Orleans, it's really cool to experience, the music and, the smells and the vibe that is the Bayou.
Mm-hmm.
I really think Disney just did a really good job with Tiana's Bayou.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to so I did Splash Mountain with Olivia. And like since her and I tend to do most of those rides together, I haven't done it without her. So I'm hoping when we go in February, so the girls do one park, but we don't know which park they're going to do. The coach picks the park. So I'm kind of hoping, even though we don't really hang out with them, but maybe I'll try to sneak in on it. But if not, when I go in the fall, hopefully with the agency, I may just have to ride it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to wait for her, but
it's such a good ride. Like, I would ride it multiple times.
Well, like you said, especially because I'm from the New Orleans area. So I'm very curious to see, like how I feel. Because I don't research rides. I don't know if I've told you that before, but I don't look at rides ahead of time. So I kind of want to be surprised. I mean, I've seen some spoilers, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
I do think that Disney needs to work on their whole, you and I have had this conversation, their whole beignet recipe is not where it needs to be. Like, they really should. I mean, they just had a Tiana's Bayou event here a couple months ago. They really do need to send somebody to New Orleans and learn how to make some good beignets for in the park.
Well, they had, gosh, what's her name? Is it Dookie Chase? And that whole family was really involved in Tiana's Bayou. So I'm like, surely with all the restaurants they have, like they could give Disney some tips on beignets. That's why I didn't like make it a point to go over to French Quarter side this summer. I mean, when we were there, because I knew I wasn't like really going to get beignets.
Yeah. So Tiana's Bayou, fabulous ride. Really impressed by that one. Journey of Water was another one that opened this year. Have you done that one yet?
I did. We've done it a couple of times. So actually last year, I think it was. No. Now I'm questioning because it might have been a preview.
Yeah.
We went, yes, we went, when I went on my agency trip, we had one of the agents that was with us was a DVC member, and she got to take a few folks with her. And so we actually got to go through the preview, and it's pretty awesome. I took the family there when we went this summer just to kind of walk through. That is super cool area, especially for little kids, the interactive with the water, and they really did a great job with that.
Yeah, Raylan and Harper, like it was fabulous because that was our first park day in September, and it was much hotter than I anticipated Disney being in September. And so that area itself was just fabulous. Like we just hung out there for like an hour, took our time. The girls played in the water, did all the experiences. They had a blast running back and through, but right there at the end where you can run through the overpass or the underpass, and the water stops right before you hit it. Girls had a blast with that. And then, of course, taking the picture with Tafiti at the end was just like Disney crushed it with that one. And again, it's Moana is really becoming such a big Disney presence in Disney. So it's really nice to have her and an area dedicated to, Moana and learning more about the water in Epcot. Like it's just really great area.
Yeah. I was just looking at, I don't know if you saw them. I just looking at some notes. Because it looked like it might have opened a little bit at the end of 2023. I know the DVC preview.
I love it.
I'm like questioning myself now because I'm like, so let me see. Maybe that's wrong. I think it opened at the end of 23.
It did. Yep. Well, that's okay. We're still talking about it.
Yeah. No, because it was at the very end. It was something new. I just want to make sure, like I'm checking myself.
And I don't think we've talked really about a lot, Journey of Water yet. So it's a great time.
No, we haven't. We haven't. Yeah. No, it was fun. Like so the first time when I did the preview, it was rainy. So like we didn't really get to, we could experience it, but it wasn't, it was kind of cloudy and dark when we went through. So when we went through the summer with the family, it was, of course, we went in June, so it was hot.
Yeah.
And then you got to see it in the daylight and just the awesome area. It's fun.
Yeah. I think
it's pretty nice walkthrough too. It's pretty long.
Yeah. Like I said, it took us a good while to get through it. And then like, it's just good to have that, like, not necessarily a splash pad, but like a nice splash area to just cool off, like that even like adults can go through and interact with.
Right. Yeah. And then you could take your time. Like I feel like it's a time filler too, where you're not pressed to get through and, like a ride queue where you're just going straight through and getting on the ride and done. Like you can kind of take your time and leisurely walk through and spend time playing in the different areas.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like that.
Yeah.
Did you see the Encanto show when you guys were there?
I did not. I did not.
Disney really did a good job with this one too. Like, so it's over in the new, what is that pavilion called?
Communicore area?
Yes, Communicore Hall area. So it's over in there, and so the stage is covered. There's like covering over the stage, and then you sit out on the lawn, but they have all these different umbrellas that are providing shade. And it's really cool. Like, so they sing, they dance, they get the kids involved. They do some trivia about, the movie Encanto. And it really is just a great time, especially for adults to just kind of sit back and relax
and let the kids
and let the kids just dance it out. Like they did a really great job with the Encanto show, and I think it's sticking around permanently. I thought I saw the other day. excuse me, the other day, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I went and looked up, like some videos, and it definitely looks pretty neat. I think when we go in February, we'll probably just have a lot of downtime, so we're gonna go check out some of these new things. But yeah, I haven't done that one yet. It's harder having practically adult children to
Yeah.
go and sit, and do those kind of things. So that's the stuff
Yeah.
that Josh and I take advantage of when it's just he and I.
Yeah. It's a different experience going as essentially as adults only.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, strongly recommend the Encanto Celebration show. Fabulous show, especially take a break from the heat of walking around Epcot.
Yep.
Next up, one that I think you might have seen it. Did you see Dreams That Soar?
No, actually, we saw the drone show at Universal,
Okay.
but by the time we went to Disney Springs, it was already gone.
Yeah.
We missed it. I think it was like closed like a little bit before we got there, maybe.
Yeah, it closed 2 weeks before we got there, maybe even a week. Um, I think it was really cool to see Disney finally do something with drones. Like, especially like, look at Disneyland over in California, look at Disneyland Paris, like the amount of drones that they use in those parks, or that they have used in the past. Like, it's just been crazy. And everybody loves a good drone show at night. And from the
Yeah.
pictures and just the reviews that I saw, like it just told such a good story, of Disney. And I wish it would
Yeah.
have
And
stuck
it's
around.
right. I don't know. Especially maybe we talked about it once before about like, I'm sure it took a good bit to get it all worked out, all the drones.
Yeah.
And then for it not to stay. So I'm not sure if it was something that they always intended to be, just for a short period of time, or
Yeah.
if maybe it's going to be a summer thing that'll come back. But yeah, I wish we would have, because when we unexpectedly saw the one at Universal, it was really neat, especially when they, brought in the different characters. So
Yeah.
hopefully they bring it back.
I think they will, especially because, like, at this point, Disney paid, assuming that they paid all the money for those drones. Now they have all these drones just sitting around, and unless they plan to ship them off to Disneyland Paris or another place to use.
Yeah, it looks like it ran from May until September.
Yeah.
So, and when we went over the summer, we didn't really spend a lot of time at Disney Springs because we were mostly at Universal.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't spend too much time at Disney Springs.
So I will want to go in February. And then jumping ahead, we have never done the Country Bear Jamboree ever.
No.
Like, honestly, I mean, I know now and I've known for a bit, but I didn't even realize that there was a show in there. I mean, we'd see the bears come out, and kind of hang out either on the balcony or walking around in that area.
Yeah.
But I didn't really realize it was a show until I saw so many announcements about it closing for refurbishment.
Yeah. It's never been a must do for us. Like, we talked about doing it this last trip, especially just as a chance to, get out of the sun and just take a break from the sun. But it's just never appealed to me to sit through Country Bear Jamboree.
I'm curious. And I'd love if anybody's listening to that's done it, to just kind of give some insight, like before and after, like, I mean, we've done research, but it's always fun to hear somebody's personal experience. And, if they thought that it was like, if they're for the changes or if they're like, gosh, they messed it up.
Yeah. We'll come back if anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody chimes
if anybody
in, but
leaves a comment.
I mean, I don't know the last time that the show was updated. So, it was probably much needed for sure.
Yeah. It seems like it's one of the almost like the oh gosh, what was it? You might be too young to know. Or maybe they didn't have them all over. So like they have Chuck E. Cheese here. They used to have
Oh,
another
yeah.
one called
I remember
Showbiz.
yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was kind of like that. Maybe it was time for it to go and get an update. The Bears
Yeah.
needed a refreshing.
Yeah, they did. So that's pretty much the top ones from Disney World. You want to do Disneyland next?
Sure. Yeah, it's almost a little, which this one's a little bit more. We've talked about it too, like since we haven't made it over to Disneyland yet to kind of give a whole lot of insight.
Yeah.
But I assume that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is the same
Yeah.
over in Disneyland, although they do have the New Orleans Square. So they have a little bit more of a New Orleans area
Right.
over at Disneyland. But I imagine that I'm typing. I can't type and talk. I imagine that, the ride is very similar, if not exact.
Yeah. I think it's the exact same ride as Disney World. I know they had a little bit more issue at the opening than Disney World did. It was down quite a bit. Like I think even on launch day, like the ride didn't open until the afternoon. But I think now it's fine, and like I said, it's the same exact ride as Disney World.
Yeah, that whole little area too. Because they actually have Tiana's Palace, the restaurant.
Yep. Which I
And
wish
so-
we would put at Disney World.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation, but I'm pretty sure, like people are speculating, like at some point if they'll put that in there. But I mean, I don't know unless they take out like Pico's Bill or
Pickle
something. I
Bills,
don't know
yeah.
where they would put it.
No, I don't know.
But they just revamped that menu, so I don't know.
Time to get rid of it. Never a better time.
Yeah. If they get some like really good New Orleans food. Because I saw someone, I don't know which, it was one of the Facebook Disney groups or whatever, and somebody was asking, like she's from Louisiana and was posting, she made a reservation at Boatwrights and was asking about the gumbo and stuff like that. And everybody from Louisiana were like, "You're from here, do not go to Boatwrights."
Yeah.
You can get
Yeah.
gumbo at home. Like, don't go there looking for food.
Well, and
So,
I think you and I had that conversation after we went to the French Quarter back in September, and I tried to get a po' boy, and I was just like,
yeah,
I didn't even finish it. I was like, I'm good. Thanks though.
right.
Good effort.
Right. Yep. So what's next? Haunted Mansion expansion.
This
I
one,
like-
it's
Were you-
nice
are
that
you-
Disney's added to the queue.
Mhm.
Like, a Haunted Mansion is such a great ride, and there's so much to the story that I think it was such a great idea. I wish Disney World would expand the Haunted Mansion queue and make it a little bit more interactive.
Mhm.
Because I'm trying to think. I think the only thing that's really interactive is that that instrument thing that you can play right towards the front of the line. That's really the only interactive thing, and I think that they should bring out some more of the ghost, which is that's essentially what they're doing at Disneyland. So I think it's a really great idea that they're doing that.
Yeah. Ironically, I do like the ride. It is a little creepy, I guess, if you take it literal, which we don't because it's a ride. But it is fun. I can tell you too, and I know we're talking about Disneyland, so I only have experience at Disney World, but every time we go, I'm like, okay, I know where the camera's at. So I'm gonna get a good picture. No, I'll have to post my pictures in the group comments. Never.
It never
I'm like,
comes out the way you want it. I think somebody's waiting, like that whole mirror wall. Somebody's waiting, and they're like, "All right, they're smiling. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Right.
Okay, do it now."
right. And it was like me. I was like making a face, like I was getting ready to tell Josh, like, okay, the picture's coming up soon, and like my
Yep.
face is all weird, and I'm like, why? That happened on every
Yep.
single ride photo when Josh and I went over the summer.
Yeah.
Like, could not get a good one.
I remember
They're
going with
terrible.
Matt for the Christmas party, and that was one of the last rides we rode. And I was like, Matt, wait. Okay, make a crazy face. And we held it for like 20 seconds, and the camera just happened to get it right after we stopped. And I was like, come on.
That's I don't know how. Like,
I'm pretty sure it's random.
Yeah, I see people with these pictures, and I'm like, gosh, like, you know where the cameras are, and everyone, unless you like
Yep.
Braden, and you get, which I won't say it's a good one.
Finger the whole time.
Yes, and ruin people's pictures. I'm still salty about that. But yeah,
I think it's great.
Yeah, I want to get some good pictures one day.
But yeah, I'm super glad that they're expanding, the queue. I mean, the Disneyland Haunted Mansion is way better than the Disney World, just because, that's the OG all day.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that they're doing the expansion on the queue.
Yeah, and then don't they do over Halloween? They do like the overlay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we don't get that.
I think it's Christmas.
Is it?
I think it's
Well,
Christmas,
they do. Yeah, they definitely do the Christmas. Because I think they had was it virtual queue for a while over Christmas with this one?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I thought they did something for Halloween, but maybe not. Maybe not. So
next one.
What's the other one? So this isn't. I mean, the hotel was already there, but officially opened up as Pixar. I put Palace, Pixar Place.
Pixar Place. Yeah.
Hotel over. It was shoot. I forgot what it was called before now.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I'm going to remember it in a minute.
It's a really great hotel, though. Like, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it was the pictures that I've seen. I'm like, when we were going to go over this coming summer, I was going to stay there.
Yeah.
Just because it looks super neat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Paradise Pier. Yes.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, that was a cool switch. Like, the whole Pixar theming was just really good. And it looks like such a great hotel. Like, that's probably where we'll try to stay in 2026 when we go. There ain't no way I'm staying in the Grand Californian.
No, we were actually going to stay. So there was 2 room options that I was picking from, and but it was club level at Pixar Place versus something else I forgot at Disneyland Hotel. But I've heard some mixed reviews on club level at those are the only 2 rooms that were available for me to pick at that time. Yeah. And I heard the club level wasn't quite up to par yet. I mean, I guess because it was just opening, so it kind of had some mixed reviews. So that's why I decided to do Disneyland Hotel. But
yeah,
we've canceled the trip. So
not much coming to Disney. I don't feel like much was announced for Disneyland this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming next year, which we'll talk about shortly.
Yes.
Disney Cruise Line. This one, I think, will also be another short one for us. Especially because the Disney Treasure launch we'll be talking about next episode.
Yes.
I need to email Shelly and just confirm we're good. So, yes. But Disney's new ship, the Treasure, launched a couple weeks ago. So that is super exciting. And like we said, my boss, I assume she's my boss. I always call her my boss. Shelly went on the Disney Treasure. And so she'll be coming on next week to talk about her experience on the absolutely gorgeous Disney Treasure. Like, I still need to send you the Epcot room. Like, it's just, ugh.
Yeah, it looks great. I know. Well, I found out after the fact that my agency owner actually went on that sailing too. So jealous. Like that thing. It just, I want to go again, like the Haunted Mansion bar and the lounge. Yes. Oh man, it looks so cool.
Yeah. one day I will get to go on a Disney cruise.
I know my agency's going in a few weeks and on a Disney cruise, not the Treasure, but we didn't book it because we didn't know when Olivia's cheer, they either do a competition in Dallas or one in Orlando, and it's the same weekend as the Dallas one, and I didn't know, so I didn't book it.
Yeah.
But it looks super cool. One day too.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous ship.
Yeah, I'm
they
like,
did a
I'll
really good
go.
job on that one.
Josh and I will go one time when we can leave the kids.
Right. Just
It'll
don't
be
tell them.
cheaper.
Much cheaper. Also, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point opened up. I don't know too much about that one.
So I guess the only experience that I've had with going to like a private island was when we did the Virgin Voyages cruise, and they had their own beach club at Bimini. And so it's super cool to get off the ship and not have to really like book an excursion and just go, to their little private island for the day. And so I've been looking at that one and it looks awesome. There's like a little splash pad with water slide area for the kids. There are things you can do, like you could do snorkeling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some paid excursions that you can pay when you go to that port, but I like how they have that. And it's new and it's in the Bahamas. So of course the water's beautiful.
Yeah, we'll have to get Shelly to talk a little bit about that one next week too.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you talk a lot about this one because you got to experience a lot of it. Was some big changes to Universal this past year.
Yes. So I put none of my stuff got autocorrected either. I put
Nice.
DreamWorks Land.
I knew what you meant.
Look, being off. So I was off last week. I only worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm off and through January 6th. So like the days are just all confused. Feel like I should be sleeping when I'm awake. So yeah. So typo. I didn't catch the typos, but
work tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, yuck. Yeah. So DreamWorks Land, which is, I think I talked about it a little bit when we did my trip report back whenever that was.
We did. Yep.
So I know Universal, we've talked about a lot how they don't really have a lot of stuff for small kids. But this area is definitely something that appeals to the small kids. They have the Trolls area, which there's a Trolls coaster, which we did not ride because, believe it or not, when we went, the ride wait was like 50 minutes. And we weren't really sure if it was too kiddie to wait that long. So we didn't do it. They have the, why is my mind going blank? Kung Fu Panda.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the thing to me that was the cutest. Cause they had it was an interactive show, just like, Turtle Talk with Crush. They had the little, they would doing the, karate show, and then it was interactive. So they were talking to the kids in the audience and, super, super cute. And they also have in that area the big water bucket. So they have like a splash pad area too. So if it's hot and you want to get, let the kids throw on a bathing suit and just play in the water. And then they have the big bucket. I don't know how many gallons. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't know how many gallons of water it is, but like there's no getting around it. If you walk underneath that thing, you're getting drenched. And so we kind of stood by and watched and waited for people to unexpectedly get wet because we saw it dump. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so that area is definitely, and again, they have like little seesaws. So you can just kind of sit back and let the kids run around and burn some energy in that back area.
Yeah, that's super nice. Anywhere that my kids can run off energy while I can observe from a distance, sign me up.
Yeah.
Like your house on Wednesday when they're out of school.
Uh-oh.
Except I won't be watching. I'm just going to drop them off and leave.
My girls. I need to come bring them their Christmas presents one day.
Yes. We'll talk.
Yeah. And then the other one was the Mega Movie Parade, which we also missed part of this. We didn't get to see. So when we were there was a parade that had. It wasn't this one though. I'm looking to see when the dates were because we didn't see the ghost because Josh was like, I think it started the week after we got home because Josh is a huge Ghostbusters fan. And they had the Ecto one was in there. There was Back to the Future, E.T. So we did get to see a parade that had some things, but not the Mega Movie Parade. That one, it ended right before. I mean, it started right after we left, but that one was super cool. They did have Jaws in one of the parades when I went because I made somebody take a picture of it so I can send it to Olivia because she's terribly afraid of sharks. Oh, and so that's our thing. We send her shark pictures. Isn't that nice?
Thanks for letting me know. Now I'm going to get her a Christmas present and it's going to be something shark.
Yeah, it's crazy because it all started because when she was little, I don't know why my mom let her watch Jaws. And she's like, didn't think it was scary. My mom. Fine. I'm like, it's definitely scary. So she was very traumatic for a while. She wouldn't even want to take a bath because she would get scared.
Awesome.
She's going to kill me for telling y'all, but yeah.
Hey, that's okay. We're going to make a reel out of that part right there, and we're going to make her famous for being afraid of sharks. I'm going to put a whole bunch of shark gifs in it. It's going to be fabulous.
Do it, and I'm going to send it to her.
Yep. Yeah. We'll work on tonight.
And then Hogwarts always. We didn't. I don't know why we were such party poopers. Like when we went, we didn't stay.
Didn't go see the night show.
Super late for the nighttime shows. No, we the summer trip was kind of laid back too with the kids, and then we had 3 days at Universal, which we don't really usually spend that much time.
I've never been impressed by the Hogwarts nighttime shows. Huge Harry Potter nerd, love Universal, but I've just never been impressed by their nighttime shows on the castle.
So we did one time, and I think this was when we went for Olivia's cheer trip. So she must have been in 8th grade. And I think we were there at night. And so we didn't realize when it got dark and then the castle, I guess, was lighting up. They had some lights, I think.
Yeah.
So we did see a little bit of that, but we didn't catch this one.
Okay. Well, I don't know where we're at. I didn't keep track of when we started. We're just going to say we're on time and we're going to boot, scoot, and boogie along.
Yeah. Well, I can't see how long we're on here for.
We're at 40 minutes. So we're pushing it.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's roll. That's me. I'll stop telling stories.
Hey, no, I'm fine with it. It makes it interesting. I like it. So that was 2024. A lot changed in the parks in 2024. If you have not had your chance to get out of the parks, 2025 is going to be your year to hit the parks because there's even more great things coming. So yes. I think with that, let's just dive right into Disney World because there is
a lot.
There's a couple things I'm excited about. Not everything, but we've had those conversations. I'm super excited for this nighttime parade. Just because I've always been jealous that Disneyland has a nighttime parade. And I know Disney World used to have a nighttime parade, but that was pre-me Disney. I never got to experience that. So now I want to experience that, the beautifulness that is the light parade coming down Main Street.
Yeah. When we go, again, we usually don't stick around too much for the nighttime parades or the fireworks. But the last 2 years when I've gone for the Halloween party, I've actually sat and watched the parade. And so I'm excited to see this one too, especially with having a trip in the fall. Hopefully with the agency, then, a lot of them usually kind of stick around and watch those things. So I'll definitely check it out.
And that's coming summer 2025. So lots of that'll be super exciting to see the nighttime Disney Starlight Parade come back. Also summer, one of my favorite rides, Test Track, is going to be opening back up. whole totally rethemed. We're rebranded. We're no longer Chevrolet. I think we're GM now.
Hmm.
Um, I love Test Track. I know you aren't the biggest fan of it.
Well, I've only done it once, and
Yeah.
because I had this feeling that it was going to make me sick. I don't know why. I just imagine like going in circles, but like smaller circles, I guess
Yeah.
maybe. So we did one time when we went with my in-laws in 2021, and it was fun. Like I would do it again.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for that to open back up.
yeah,
So that's coming late summer 2025. Um, these are the two I'm not as excited about.
the
Just
lounges.
because, yeah, like if you're
Yeah,
a lounge person, that's great. The only time that I want to be sitting is when I'm eating.
yeah.
Um, I don't want to go to Disney and be like, let's go sit in a lounge for an hour. Like there's
I
so
know.
much. Like, if I'm paying a
I
hundred
know.
and something dollars per ticket, I don't want to go sit in a lounge.
I'm the same way because I'm like, who actually goes and sits in lounges?
The Club
However,
33
like,
people.
yeah, I mean, I'm guessing like because I know, when the Disney Crush did their meetup, they met at No Man Lounge in Animal Kingdom. It was like a big meetup, and it was
Yeah,
lots of people, and they just kind of hung out. So I would imagine if it's things like that, or maybe like for instance, Josh doesn't like to do a lot of rides, so I could see maybe if it's a
yeah,
family where somebody doesn't want to do rides, we're like, hey, I'm going to go hang out in the lounge. Let me know when
that's
you're
fair.
done. Things like that.
Or like grandparents maybe that are can't go ride.
Right. Or if it's
That's
hot and
fair.
you want to take a little break. But yeah, I'm
Go ride a
just
ride.
curious who hangs out in the lounges.
All of the people that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
But Disney is bringing two lounges. You're going to have the Pirates of the Caribbean lounge open up in late 2025 over Magic Kingdom, and the Spaceship Earth lounge. Now, I say all that I just said. However, if you tell me that there is a singing pirate show in
Oh, you're all
the
for it.
Pirates of the
Yeah.
Caribbean, I'm all for it. I'll absolutely go to the bar, get a drink, and watch pirate sing "Yo Ho Yo Ho," Pirate's Life for me. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yep. I could see you doing it.
Yeah.
Wait, what did we
Now
say?
for
What
the
kind of mug? Like a Viking mug or whatever?
yes, yes, and I want a giant like beer pitcher, like as big as my face, that I can bring
Sweet.
home.
There you go.
Now for the more exciting one. Although I don't understand the whole concept of you walk in and there's a Muppets ride, you look to the right, there's a Disney Villains ride. Like it just doesn't mesh well in my head. But
Yeah.
I'm not an Imagineer. But we'll see. We've got the Disney Villain show Unfairly Ever After coming next summer, which is going to take the place of Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. So that one is going to be. I'm excited because they're going to show like some really great villains.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Well, I'm wondering once they open Villains Land,
If it'll
like if they'll keep it there or, I mean,
move
but
it
they do
over.
have, there's Toy Story in Hollywood Studios and then over in Magic Kingdom. So I mean, some things do overlap. Little Mermaid
Yeah.
in more than one. So I mean, I guess they could keep it. But just curious if it's just like something to get the Villains fans something now in the process of building Villains
Maybe.
Land.
And then they transition it over and replace whatever was in that theater. I could see that.
Yeah.
But
But then
super excited for that. That's going to be a really great. That's going to be a really great show. That will definitely be one of the ones we do.
Yep. And then what else? Another show, Little Mermaid show.
Yeah.
At Hollywood Studios. I don't know why we don't really spend a lot of time watching the shows, even though every time we're going, I'm like, okay, I want to watch the shows this time. Like we're going to do more shows than rides. And we just never do.
Listen, we'll go together. Our families will go together. You take the girls and you're going to do shows, and Rachel and I will go do rides.
Okay. I'm down. I'll be the in-park nanny.
There we go. So yeah, we got Little Mermaid coming, and then Zootopia, better Zoogather.
Yeah.
That I'm super excited about. Zootopia is such an underrated movie. I'm really excited to see that replace It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Yeah, me too. I have some clients that went last year to Disney. They had another Disney trip planned, but he ended up changing it over to Universal.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited because when we first started talking last year, he was asking if they had anything Zootopia anywhere, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
And so when I found out, I emailed him when we found out it was coming out, and I'm like, guess what's coming?
Time to book your trip.
Yes. Well, he did. He actually changed it though to Universal, which I'm not upset about. I like booking Universal. So we'll see. But I'm curious now but that one says winter. He is planning on going back to Disney. So maybe the next year, but yeah. There's super fun to be able to tell people that things are coming.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff coming to Disney World in 2025. Moving over to Disneyland. There's been a lot of controversy behind this one, and that's the Magical Life. Yeah, the whole animatronic of Walt Disney. Like, there's been a lot of controversy behind that one this year. But Walt Disney is getting his first ever animatronic, and that's going to be in the Magical Life, which is coming to the Main Street Opera House next year.
Yeah, I wonder if people are just feeling like, because I don't know. I don't, maybe because he's, like a lot of the animatronics are all like fictional characters.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's
for the Hall of Presidents. That's like the only one.
Well, yeah. So I wonder why people feel a certain way.
I don't know. I would go
maybe because he wasn't here to give consent.
Yeah. We'll go see it next year when we go to D23.
Sounds good. Did we get that approved yet?
No, we're still working on that.
Okay. I didn't even ask. So.
And then Disneyland's 70th anniversary is coming. So we're going to have to do an episode of all the stuff that's coming to Disneyland in 2025, just because, they've planned out the whole year.
I know. They already have I'm pretty sure they have the Halloween, Oogie Boogie Bash dates
Oogie Boogie
out.
Bash, yeah. They announced it all at D23. They said, here's everything that we're doing in 2025. Get ready, because it's going to be a crazy year at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that the celebration starts May 16th.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to go on for a good bit
of the year. Yeah. We'll have to plan an episode before so we can just kind of talk all the things that are happening at Disneyland, in the second half of the year.
Yeah, sounds good.
You want to cover Universal?
Sure.
We're trekking through these.
Yeah, we're getting there. Which, yeah, and Josh and I were talking, and I'm like, a lot of it though, especially because we're fairly new. So this is episode 12. So we've covered D23 in an episode.
Yeah.
We covered Epic Universe already. So, it's stuff that we've already kind of talked about, but just to kind of recap,
Yeah.
I felt like it was good to kind of revisit those. So of course, Epic Universe is the big announcement, which I don't know. A lot of people feel like a lot of these announcements that Disney came out with was to kind of compete with the hype for Epic Universe.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be tough to compete with that. especially with, the 5 different lands they have. It's going to be all new. Super excited. I cannot wait to go ride Mario Kart and lose.
I need to reshare that reel.
Yeah. And there's also going to have 3 new hotels, which you already can start booking.
Yeah. And they're
Yeah. So,
super nice hotels, like the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna. Those are going to be, well, of course, the Helios Grand is going to be fabulous too. But just looking at those 2 hotels that are going to be side by side,
yeah.
like just the concept art just looks really cool. And those open like February, don't they? January,
Uh,
February.
I think so. And it's good
It's
because,
close to
Disney
earlier.
has a ton of resorts. Universal's doesn't have quite as many, so
Catching
it's
up.
good to
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
some new let me see, new resorts coming up.
Is the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna, are those over by the other 2 parks, or are they over by Universe or Epic Universe?
Oh, let's see if it says.
I'm looking because I'm curious now where they're going to be located at. If they're going to be the only if the Helios Grand Hotel is going to be the only Epic Universe.
Um,
I think they are going to be over by
it says
the other.
it's accessible via walking path or shuttle.
It's located adjacent to the Universal Epic. So all 3 are going to be Universal Epic Universe
Epic.
hotels.
There you go.
Yeah, those super cool hotels. Like I'm super excited to
Yeah, I guess
see
they
those in
just must
person.
look like sister hotels because they
Yeah. Yep.
look the same. Yeah. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. I cannot wait to go to Epic.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
gonna be
wait,
good.
but I
Yeah,
can't
me
wait.
too. Okay. So last section we'll dive into is just looking ahead of 2025. Which at this point is just speculation.
Right.
At the previous D23 back in 2021, Disney had said that these were all ideas that were still like in the works, but they had no idea if they were actually going to come to fruition. And so at least now at this point, we know that, Disney's confirmed these. We just kind of don't know when we can expect to see them. And of course, as always, with Disney, you can almost guarantee that it's going to look somewhat different than the concept art, and that things are going to
Yeah.
change over the time. So we don't really know what the final details are going to be until we, start breaking ground and see some stuff kick off. But Tropical America's coming to Animal Kingdom. That's going to be super cool. So glad to see Dinosaur going away.
Although
But
it's
we've
not
had
going
that
away quite
conversation
yet.
before. It needs to. Yeah, Dinosaur's sticking around for a while, isn't it? It's going to be around for most of next
It's
year.
yeah, now it looks like it's going to be there through 2025.
Yeah. So Tropical America's coming to the Dino Land area at Animal Kingdom, which is going to have some Encanto stuff, going to have some Indiana Jones stuff. We're going to see our first La Casita ride at Disney Park. So super excited about that one.
Yep.
I can't wait to go inside La Casita. I can't. One day. Probably the most controversial topic at Disney World this year was Monsters Inc. Land, which is going to be replacing Muppets, the Muppets area over at Hollywood Studios. But we're finally getting the highly requested moving door ride, as well as I think some newer restaurants, one of which I think is going to be Japanese. I can't remember. It's supposed to mimic the restaurant that Mike and his girlfriend went to on their first
Oh,
date in the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
So that'll be good. I still am intrigued to see how they're going to fit it all. But I am super excited to see Monsters Inc. come to the parks.
Yep. And we still
The
keep Muppets.
and we still keep Muppets. We get the main attraction that everybody still goes to, because I mean nobody really goes to the back of the Muppetary anymore, but we'll still get to see Muppets in as it replaces Aerosmith on Rock and Roller Coaster. Villains Land.
Villains
I have
Land.
no idea what that's going to look like or what villains are going to be there. But we do know we're getting some rides, some shopping, and some dining over in Magic Kingdom at some point. So that'll be super cool whenever we get some more details on that. Hopefully we'll see some more information on that in 2025. And then the last thing, which is also interestingly enough controversial topic, is Cars Land, which is replacing Tom Sawyer's Island and the Riverboat of America. So we're getting 2 Cars rides, which are actually supposed to be pretty intense based off of some of the videos that Disney's released. So super excited to see those coming to Disney World. I'll hand off Disneyland to you.
Okay. I want to say real quick hi to my fellow mouse counselor, Kim, who's joined watching us. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Kim. Welcome to the
Kim,
party.
Yes, Kim was one of the fun ones. We went to, she was there when we went to Discovery Cove.
Oh, nice.
This last October. Yeah. She actually lives there, and she's also a
jealous.
park nanny. So
if I liked kids, I would totally do that.
I'm so jealous. I want to be Kim. I'm like, I want to live there and go. Although I'm sure it's probably not always pleasant.
So I can't do it.
Yep. Yeah, so it looks like Disneyland, some updates. Looks like they're going to update the Avatar ride there. I don't think they gave too much details on that one. Let me see.
I don't remember what the details behind that were, because I don't think they have Avatar, do they? I know they're getting a new.
Oh, it says new. Hold up.
They're getting a new ride that Disney World does not.
It says a California Adventure Avatar updates announced.
I didn't think they had an Avatar.
Maybe they don't. Maybe it's an addition. And this was part of D23, I think. This was from the Disney Parks blog. Avatar updates announced for Disney California Adventure. We're heading to Pandora. In the future, you'll see.
Yeah, because they don't have Pandora. They are Avatar, so they're getting Avatar for the first time.
Sweet. That is my favorite. It doesn't look like. However, if it stays that way, it's not the same type of ride as Avatar over in Disney.
No, they're not getting the same concept, but they are.
It almost looks like across from Navi River, because it looks like a boat ride going through Pandora. But yeah. So that'd be fun. I love Avatar. Is my favorite ride at Animal Kingdom. And what else? They're getting a Coco attraction. So it'll be the first Coco attraction. Yes, I know.
Yep.
Am I making this up? Was there speculation of some Coco stuff over at Tropical Americas at some point, or no? Or is that people just saying that they should?
I think it was just speculation. People saying
speculation. Yeah. Yep, that'll be fun. And then, I clicked off my notes. Oh, and then the Avengers Campus is getting an expansion. So it looks like 2 new attractions.
Yep.
Avengers Infinity Defense, and then Stark Flight Lab.
Yeah, that's going to be. I still wish that Disney World could get some Marvel stuff, but maybe one day.
Yeah. Well, I guess because people wanted villains, maybe.
So the rumor, and I really should confirm this, but I'm just going to put it out there. So the rumor that I've heard is that the reason that Disney World cannot get Marvel is because the West Coast, Disney has rights to Marvel. So they can build Marvel stuff. On the East Coast, Universal has rights, which is why you see the Marvel stuff inside the Universal parks and not in the Disney parks, even though Disney owns Marvel at this point. Universal still has the rights for the rides and stuff. So that's why they can't. That's what I've always heard.
So I just looked it up and it says Disney World can't have a full-fledged Marvel section like Avengers Campus because of a pre-existing contract with Universal Studios, which granted them exclusive rights to use most Marvel characters in theme parks located east of the Mississippi River, where Disney World is situated. So
I was right.
You were right.
So yeah, maybe one day we need to work on this. And then last minor thing, but exciting thing. We don't know any details, but Disney Cruise Line is of course expanding their cruise line. So we're going to be seeing 4 ships in the future get added to the fleet. So trying to build. So trying to keep up with those other cruise lines like Royal Caribbean and Norwegian.
I wish they would. Yeah, I wish they would bring. Not that I'd jump on one and go, but I wish they would bring one back to New Orleans.
Yeah,
it would have been so much easier to try to convince the fam to go if we could pull it right out of here.
Yep.
And one thing, I guess I must have took it off the notes. One thing that I just recently saw this week is that Universal is going to be taking down the Rip Rocket.
Yeah, which they've been talking about that for so long. Like, when we were there in 2021, Rachel and I didn't get to ride it, and we were super bummed because we were like, oh, it's getting torn down. It's closing. They're gonna replace it, and here it is, 2025, and it still hasn't been replaced. But I know that they're finally, filed the permits to tear it down and stuff.
It's no heartbreak for me.
Of course,
that is one. I'm telling you, like that. Just the going up again. I don't mind drops. I don't mind going upside down, but just the initial going up.
Yep.
Because my fear is getting stuck, and I've been there and have seen the ride stopped, and those people are just hanging there, and I'm like, there's no way, not happening. I'll take my chances.
That is 2024, 2025 and beyond. So lots of great things happening in the parks across Universal and Disney Cruise Line. So super excited for the future. I think it's been a really great year. I got a lot of Disney in this year, which was super cool. And I really got to do Disney as a dad for the first time this year. Of course, we did it before when the girls were younger, but now them being older, 2024, going and just seeing Disney through my kids' eyes this year was probably just, my favorite part of, being a Disney dad. And so I'm looking forward to the years to come, just to where I can watch them grow and just fall, in love with Disney and, everything that Disney means. So yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Yeah. When I think of you with your girls and Rachel, it's like, I don't know if you've seen the TikToks where it's like, I'm raising my daughters to be princesses. So some chum doesn't try to take them to like the little not Six Flags, but the little county fairs.
Whoever they marry needs to understand that they're going to expect Disney trips on a regular basis. Like, and I'm not.
It's funny because
once they turn 18.
Yeah. Like you see it now through your kids' eyes, but my kids aren't that interested. So I'm the one who's excited.
You can take my kids.
Go. Well, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to put their business out, but Braden has a new friend who has never been. So like as soon as he told me that, like,
yes.
I was like, okay, maybe we'll go this summer, even though it keeps saying we're not, but, or maybe in the fall, we'll see. Because I love taking people who haven't been.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Yeah. And hopefully get another agency trip. Those I I have different experiences, like going with my kids is great. I love going, it's something that Olivia and I share. You know, we both love it. She loves it just as much as I do. And then I have the fun trips when Josh and I go, it's a little different experience when it's just he and I, just to get away in my happy place. I'm very thankful that I have a husband who, even though he doesn't love it as much as I do, will still entertain my addiction. Yep. And then I have my agency trips, which are so much fun because those are all like-minded people. We all crazy about it the same, so we're all gung-ho to do the things, but then we also get to share best practices about, what makes our travel agent business side successful, or things, sharing practices of things that we can do differently and getting ideas. So I enjoy all the different experiences that I get to get. And this was a fun year because I got to do something different, like going to Discovery Cove with some of those ladies. And I got a family trip and a Josh trip. So
nice.
2024 was good. So yeah. I'm hoping to have as many. Speaking of, my daughter is calling me. Speaking, yeah. But hopefully we get some more trips in 2025 because there's lots of new things coming out that I want to get to experience.
Yeah. Well, that wraps it up for today's episode. So if you guys are watching later or, listening later, definitely give us some feedback. Tell us, what you're looking forward to in 2025 and even further going into 2026. Lots of great things coming. So let us know what you're looking forward to in the years come. Next week, January 5th, we will be back live. And we have got, as we mentioned earlier, my boss, Shelly from Channel Way Travel coming on. And we're just going to have a good time talking with her about her time on the Disney Treasure and let her give us some feedback and what you can expect when you go on the Disney Treasure. So that's going to be a really fun episode. Lori, anything before I close this out and we wrap it up?
Nope, I think that's it. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to hear her take on the new ship. So I'm excited for that episode.
Yeah. And for those who listen on Wednesday, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. We've got a lot planned for 2025, so definitely stay tuned. Some last announcements before we wrap up. Exciting news for Going Beyond the Castle is that we now have our own website. So if you were looking to find out more about, myself or Lori, if you're looking to get a quote on a Disney trip, Universal trip, a cruise, whatever it may be, or if you're just looking for a quick way to listen to our podcast, you can head over to www.goingbeyondthecastle.com. The best way to get a hold of us on social media and just to have access to all of our quick links is going to be our Beacons channel, which has changed as well. That is going to be beacons.ai/going beyond the castle. And then, of course, as always, which I'm super excited that I now have access to after months of not having access, you can always reach out to us through email. If you're looking to come on the podcast, we're always looking for people to join us on the podcast. If you're looking to, request a specific topic on the podcast, or if you're looking to get a quote for a trip, definitely reach out to us through email, info@goingbeyondthecastle.com. And so, as always, thanks for joining us on this episode. We love doing what we get to do. Love going beyond the castle with you guys. So with that being said, we will talk to you guys next week, and Happy New Year.
Bye. Happy New Year, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Stop. I forgot how to stop it for a second. All right. So it should be